So today I essentially heard a police officer say that human rights violations are okay if the reason for them is that civil servants aren't worth their salt and basically slacking off, not doing their job. Do you agree with that? He said a lot of nonsense, and all the officers that spoke with me definitely were lying. But he also hinted at the fact that the fact that he said that I could ask for support, financial support here, and then go to a different city in the Netherlands and ask for support there, and then go to, for example, Belgium. Belgium was the example that he mentioned. And that he seemed to hint that that was the reason why I wasn't getting support. And that appears to be the reason then that the city of Amsterdam always says no when there are ties to foreign countries, when there are foreign names, when the people have a foreign nationality, etc., etc. But that means that they're not doing their job, that Dutch municipalities aren't doing their job properly. And my question is it justified just to violate people's human rights, their basic human rights, which starts with food and shelter? Food particularly. I'm a little biased about shelter because shelter these days in the Netherlands can actually be torture, I've discovered. Some people get lucky, particularly the rich. Is it justified to withhold financial support and other support from people just because you think they might be committing fraud and because you haven't set up systems to check for that? Because in other countries, your support is tied to who you are. Here in the Netherlands, it's tied to an address. You have the DGD, you have the SOFI number, the burgerservice number, as they call it these days, citizen service number. But that doesn't count for anything. Without an address, an officially recognized address, you don't exist in the Netherlands. And that seems to be the crux of the problem, because if it were tied to your DigiD or something, then it would automatically be discovered if you were claiming benefits somewhere else. In the UK, I don't have any of this nonsense. I spoke with an arbeidsmigrant who's been in the Netherlands for 10 years and who used to work in, I'm going over the minutes again, but I'm so flabbergasted by the incredible mess the Netherlands is these days. And not just that, but the fact that they think that violating people's rights and just treating them like dog excrement is okay. And it's not. And I'm also really embarrassed about how I've been lecturing the English. That factors into it as well. It's complicated because if you go for a free meal here, a community meal here, people have cars and so on. They aren't dirt poor the way people are in England. But in England, you may find signs on the tables that tell you to behave because they assume poor people don't know how to behave. Some of these facilities, which is also really insulting. And that's the way these police officers treat me. I'm not a human being to them. I'm definitely not a human being to them. They treat me like a toddler. They give me these little compliments that you make to toddlers. See, you know the house number. Like I'm a toddler, like I'm a 4-year-old. Like I'm a 4-year-old. It's disgusting, but it's also really shocking. I have trouble accepting this, grasping this, coming to grips with this, because it's insane. It's insane. I haven't run into this bad stuff this bad in England. It's happened to me once that I had an expense in my accounts that concerned the book that I'd written, and the guy said, somebody at the civic officer said, "Oh, it's income done." No, I bought this and sent it to someone. But that's, I think, as far as it's gotten, as bad as it's gotten. And over there, I was a migrant, so you're lying, thieving, and lying about your education and everything. But it should be a different story over here. And the fact that I graduated here with good results shouldn't make a difference either. It is definitely the case, and that makes it more ridiculous that I'm in this situation. But it's just as valid for people who did not go to university and who are from Romania. They have the same fucking rights. They are also entitled to food and shelter and all these other things that the Human Rights Convention affords them. You can't just say they're vermin. Let's eradicate them. That's dog excrement. Let's get rid of it. But that's the attitude here. And I find that so incredibly hard to come to grips with. I find this shocking. But I find it so shocking that I have real trouble with it. I have real trouble with it. Just accepting it. It's like you've never had appendicitis, so you don't count. Or you're not autistic, so you don't count. If you change the words that these people are using and put different words in their place, then it becomes ridiculously clear how incredibly nasty they are. And they don't realize it because they don't replace these words. They think it's normal to declare people without money non-humans. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Like the other day, I was asked not to be somewhere, and then this guy asked to confirm it. You're sleeping on the streets, aren't you? I wonder what would have happened if I'd said no. But it's like, you're deaf, aren't you? You're black, aren't you? You're autistic, aren't you? You're a parent, aren't you? You're gay, aren't you? You haven't had appendicitis yet, haven't you? That sounds ridiculous to ask someone to leave because of that. But it's perfectly normal to ask someone to leave because they're dirt poor. And that's not right. And that's what is eating away at me, because not for me personally, but because it hits me personally. I experience it. I can see how it affects other people, and it is so incredibly wrong in all sorts of ways. It is so incredibly wrong. But then again, you see the same thing in Israel and in the States. Similar things. Not about poverty here, it's about poverty mostly, and being foreign, having ties to foreign countries. I find it shocking. I find it scary. I find it very worrisome. I find it worrisome that this is considered normal, to declare people dog excrement or treat them like toddlers just because. And that people find nothing wrong with that. That they see nothing wrong with that. That's also why I keep discussing this with these police officers, because I want them to wake up. I've been calling police burgerbestrijding for quite a while now. Citizens eradication control, citizen control. Yeah, citizen control. That's a nice one. Yeah, I'm stunned by this. Really stunned. I'm not a human being any longer. I'm just simply not a human being any longer. Not in a lot of people's eyes. That's really, really shocking.